Have you ever wondered how Etsy stores actually reach $1 million in sales in 12 calendar months? I've actually researched this as well as been inside plenty of seven-figure stores. And in this video, I want to share with you what every single one of them have in common and what every single one of them are not selling. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dave. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I do new videos all the time on Etsy and e-commerce success. And shout out to everybody grabbing a free consultation call via the link in my description. Every single seven-figure a year Etsy store has this in common. Now, obviously, this isn't an exhaustive list. However, these are the biggest common denominators that I have found, whether it's researching a seven-figure Etsy store or working directly inside of one. So let's just jump right into it. The first one is extremely unique products. And I am not talking about, hey, that was a really good design you made on that POD shirt. Hey, that was a really cool beaded jewelry bracelet that you thought up of. No. I'm talking about new types of products, whether it's nobody makes that or they made a new twist on something that was already underserved. So I'm not talking about two of the biggest things on Etsy being jewelry and print on demand. I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about extremely unique products. Now, if your jewelry or print on demand, continue to watch. We are going to learn from these concepts because it's understood that not all of us can invent something new or, build a $100,000 wood shop in their garage, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to learn from these concepts. So an extremely unique product or very new or early to Etsy with that extremely unique or new product. So that one is easy to guess why somebody would do $1 million in a year, as long as they have their ducks in a row to some degree. The Etsy algorithm does the rest. But if that's not it, if it's not an extremely unique product or being brand new to Etsy with those new products, it is always going to be a mid to high ticket product. It's always going to be in the $40 to $1,000 range. If not over $1,000, then we're talking like luxury jewelry that's actually casted in a jewelry making facility, real diamonds, real gold, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. $3,000 rings, and plus they know how to sell on Etsy. You can definitely reach $1 million easily with real like high luxury and jewelry, plus knowing what you're doing on Etsy. But it's always mid to high ticket products. You're not going to see a digital download seller often. I'm saying this out loud, and as I say it, I realize that there could be some $1 million digital download stores out there. However, the 90%, 99.9% of sellers starting digital downloads stores are not going to reach $1 million. That's just plain and simple. You have to sell almost 1 million sales in a calendar year to reach $1 million, because it's just a few dollars. So you'd have to sell about 800,000 sales per year to reach $1 million with a digital download store. So keep that in mind. They're not digital download stores. You're not reaching seven figures with a digital download store easily. There's definitely exceptions. There's likely exceptions, but for the average Joe watching this right now, whether you're wanting to start a second Etsy store or a brand new Etsy store, if you want to make $1 million on Etsy, I would not recommend digital downloads. It's just that simple. I know it's very easy and attractive to want to, because hey, here's how to make $1 trillion on your laptop in 5 seconds a day without any skills, using digital downloads. And oh my gosh, look how passive it is. In actuality, you actually have to spend hours a day. And you have to spend hours a day no matter what. So why not have that hours a day be put towards higher ticket products? That's a huge concept. I'm going on a side rant right now, but this is a big concept that you want to learn. It's that you, no matter what, as a human, can only put in X amount of hours every single day in your life. That's just a fact, okay? Unless you become an Etsy monk, okay, and you go hide in a mountain with your laptop and a gigabyte internet speed, and all your tools to make your stuff or do print on demand, whatever, and you can spend 12 hours a day, you're a human. You can only spend, let's say, like 3 hours a day on average for most people. That's with or without a full-time job, part-time job. Let's just say 3 hours a day. That 3 hours a day is either going to go towards X amount of $2 digital download sales, or it's going to go towards X amount of $100 high ticket item sales, whatever. And you can create $100 print on demand items. Okay. There are plenty of high ticket print on demand things you can choose from. So remember that. All right. Just remember that rant over. We're going to move on from this point of mid to high ticket prices. The $1 million Etsy stores are almost always mid, meaning 40 to 50, to high ticket, over $100,000, $2,000 products. Okay. And if it's not high ticket, or if there's some kind of blend between mid to high ticket, it's always this. Thousands of listings. Now that's more typical for supply stores. Like if you remember a couple of years ago, this store was at the top of the rankings for forever, at the top of Etsy boards, like on E-Rank top sellers. Bohemian Findings, they were the top. They had thousands of listings. And, looking at their sales, it was likely that they were doing over $1 million each year. But they disappeared. They got a ton of strikes and they just disappeared off the map. Etsy took them down. They had a lot of trademark type charms that they were selling, et cetera, et cetera. And I guess Etsy just finally decided, hey, you're not getting a free pass anymore. We're taking you down. But it's always high ticket or high amount of listings. Those are two of the most common $1 million Etsy store characteristics. Always high ticket or high listings. Again, there are exceptions, but I'm telling you the biggest denominators that I've seen while researching or working inside stores. And for example, mid-ticket, here's a mid-ticket example I've worked directly with, hands-on in their store. Mid-range, $40 to $50, literally 7 listings in the store. So but here's the next thing you need to understand. They were very early to the product they were selling, extremely early. One of the first to sell that. Now it's a popular product and everyone copied them, naturally. But they were one of the first to sell that product on Etsy. And with their 7 freaking listings, they were able to go past $1 million. So there's always these different balance points when considering how to reach high sales volume. And I hope some of the elements that I'm bringing up today allows you to kind of consider, oh, maybe I shouldn't sell digital downloads. Maybe I should sell something more unique than a Mama Bear t-shirt that everyone else is selling, that kind of stuff. All these different elements, I want to get gears spinning in your head. Okay, so if not any of the above, it's a store that has been extremely, extremely early and growing for years. So let's say that it's none of what I mentioned just now, none of what I mentioned. And it's just like, hey, that store is selling jewelry like everybody else is. Then in that case, most of the time, it's a store that was extremely early or just have been around for a long time. Not extremely early or first per se, but have been around for a long time, gained a lot of momentum, continued that momentum, and continued to cultivate their Etsy store properly, grow their listing inventory, and just become a mega giant. That's another situation that is common as well. If you're not extremely high ticket or extremely early or new to something, or first to something, it's that situation. For example, some of the stores you see on the E-Rank top seller board, those stores aren't selling anything out of the blue, right? They're just been around for a long time, have consistently added new products, and have also had outside sales coming in, big social medias, etc. So all of the things I talked about today are what I have seen be the common denominator in 7-figure Etsy stores. Now, if you want to book a free consultation, in my description, I'm happy to go over to see if you're a fit to work with me. I go directly into your store and I help you. I find blind spots and we grow your store together. But in the meantime, feel free to ask me any questions in the comments, reach out to me via email, and have yourself a beautiful day. I'll see you in the next video.